Are you feeling so overwhelmed when it comes to making your baby registry? I remember feeling the exact same way as a first-time mom. I loved researching and was so excited to make my baby registry, but there were so many options and it was really hard to know what to pick. And on top of that, everyone has opinions, from the people you love to the random strangers you meet on the street. There is millions of dollars in marketing put behind parents specifically. And on top of that, we definitely have a consumerism problem where the latest and greatest is coming out just when you think you decided on a product, something new comes out, and it's hard to know if you made the right choice. Well, in this video, as a mom of 3 and someone who reviews and tests baby gear for my job, I'm going to share with you helpful tips on how to make your baby registry, some things I would skip, and we'll go through a baby registry checklist together. I'm going to share with you the things I love using with my 3 kids to hopefully help make this process a little bit less overwhelming. And if this is your first time watching one of my videos, I'm Emily, I'm the stroller mom. I review strollers and baby gear from a mom's perspective as a mom who actually uses the products. I'm a mom of 3 and a car seat passenger safety tech, and if you haven't already, please be sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and sign up for your Babylist registry in the link below. So where do you make your baby registry? There's Amazon, there's Target, there's Walmart, and Babylist. I personally made my registry for my first baby back in 2020 on Babylist, and the reason I found Babylist is I wanted a place I could put items from different stores in the same place. So I knew I wanted the Mockingbird stroller, I wanted the IKEA crib because it was affordable, and I wanted a Doona car seat. Well, there's no place other than Babylist that you can really do that. So I love that you can add from a variety of different sites. And on top of that, they have some really cool features and options like being able to add gift cards or services like getting your house cleaned or a meal plan. They also have guides, which really helped me narrow in on some of the products I want. Now, I'm going to walk you through a bunch today, but if you need more help, I'll link down below their guides because you can find one on like minimalism, sustainability, luxury, budget, and it kind of helps you see other options. This video is actually made in partnership with Babylist, and on top of all those great benefits, you also can get this Hello Baby box. I'll have a video where I unbox all the cool things that are inside of it, but you can see here there's a kite onesie, which is like this bamboo, really soft onesie, tons of discounts, a bib pacifier. So check out below, I have a blog post on how to get this and their 15% off registry completion discount. So now that we've gotten through all those details, let's jump in and make our baby registry together. If you haven't already, get some comfy clothes, grab your laptop, your favorite drink, and click the link down in the description, and that will take you to the place where you can build your registry on Babylist. If you've already done this, go on ahead and skip to the next section. I'll put timestamps down below. So you'll start by adding some very basic information, and then there is this button here that, depending on which browser you're using, you'll either drag it up or click. It kind of walks you through how to do it, but this will allow you to add things from any site to your baby registry. This is the best, especially as people are sending you things or you're looking on different websites or learning about different products from the people you love to follow on the internet. You can add them super easily from your browser with this simple plugin. So that is a game changer. I'm going to show you real quickly how to add something from another site on how to do that, and then we will jump into the next step. Something else you'll want to do is add all the other details to be able to share your baby registry. So if you click this section right here underneath the baby registry box, you'll be able to add your shipping address. You can transfer a registry from like Amazon or Target if you've already done that as well. Add your partner's details, order cards, and shower date, and then you can also edit it and make it public for other people to be able to see, or password protect it, whatever you want to do there. So you can see I already have my checklist filled out because I'm going to show you the things I would add to my baby registry, but let me show you how to add something from a different site. So let's say, for example, you wanted to get the swaddle from Taking Care of Babies. You would just type in that into the internet. And then you click it here. So you'll go to the product listing, select the color you want, and then up here in your browser, you'll click the Babylist plugin button. And so you can see it pulls up a little pop-up and you can add this swaddle. So they have a selected image there. It looks like you can change a few. It's the only one. And then this one does not include the price. If you do things on Amazon or Target, it tends to include the price. So let me go back real quick, $64. So you click again here, and then you'll add the price if it isn't there already. And then something that I will say, I'm going to share a few tips real quickly, is always add notes, especially if there's something specifically you want. So if there's a color you want or a wood tone, for example, if you have like a crib, Sometimes things sell out and Babylist will just update it to whatever the available product is. So I would love the blue one. It may update it to the ivory one without me even knowing. And so that way you can kind of help your family and friends know what specifically you're looking for. So we can add like the navy color here, and then you can decide if it's your most wanted, open to secondhand, private, and you can also pick the category. When you're adding things from other sites, you won't always have the category picked, so we're gonna go on ahead and put sleeping right here, and then hit add to Babylist. And at this point, you can either view your registry by clicking this button and it takes you right over there, which is really cool. So let's talk through some things I would leave off my baby registry. The first one being a wipe warmer. While it seems like a really great invention, unless you live in the very cold tundra or Alaska, it probably isn't going to be the best thing to add to your registry. One, it's a super short-lived time where you even want that. And personally, I have found babies are very sleepy when you're trying to feed them in the middle of the night, and having a cold diaper wipe actually does wonders in helping your baby to get full feeds in the middle of the night. On top of that, I would leave off things like baby food blenders and bottle warmers, bottle sterilizers, until you know that that's something that you actually are going to need. I had one baby who was great with cold milk. I had another one who was a little more temperamental, and to be honest with you, we did not have a very big kitchen, so adding a bunch of extra things just didn't work for us. So I would just put a warm measuring cup under some hot water in our sink and would put her bottle in there, especially if you get glass bottles. This is a hack. They end up warming up a lot quicker than if you were to do something like a plastic or a silicone bottle, which we'll talk about here in just a moment. Next is a breast pump. You're not going to want to add that Spectra or Medela breast pump to your registry because you can actually get one through your insurance a lot of time for free. Babylist actually has a place where you can fill out your insurance information. You can see right over here in the corner, it says get free breast pumps. So go that route now. I would still add some things like a hand pump and some other postpartum products, but specifically when it comes to a breast pump, you can actually get that through your insurance. Some other things, if you want to be more minimal, that's something that I definitely wanted. I didn't want to have tons and tons of baby things. There are some things you can skip, like a changing table, just use your dresser. You can skip a bassinet and either go with an option. There are a lot of sleep safe bassinets, especially in the full size stroller category. If you go Mockingbird or Up a Baby or Doona, where you can use the bassinet next to your bed with a stand as your overnight bassinet, and then it also pairs with your stroller. I would definitely go that route. Or you can use a pack and play. That's actually what we used with my first baby. We had like a Graco pack and play, and we just it had like an insert in it that brought it up higher so it was easier to access baby. Or with my third baby, we ended up using a mini crib in our bedroom. A lot of times babies sleep better in their cribs even than the hard bassinets. Or also you could do a bassinet. I would just look for one if you want that would be close to your bed. So we ended up getting the Halo. We had a tall bed. It was massive and it honestly wasn't my favorite, but we got it secondhand and it worked for our family. So you can kind of decide, but a bassinet is definitely one that I'm like on the fence if you need to buy. I hate diaper pails. They're disgusting. They smell. It doesn't matter which one you've had.
It smells like diapers in here.
I've had the Diaper Genie, I've had the Ubi, I think is how you say it, and they all smell terribly. Even if you do like the charcoal pads in the bottom, they don't smell good. So in our old house, I believe starting with my second baby, but we may have not discovered this till my third, we were in a one-story, very small home, and so it was super easy for me to just put all the diapers right into our main trash can, which got taken out regularly. In this house, we have 2 stories and the baby's room's upstairs, so I actually just bought a $20 like Simply Modern trash can that goes in like your bathroom that has a lid on it, and I use that in her room, and I regularly empty it, and obviously once your baby's like 6 months old, you just take their poop diapers out to the trash. And it works really well for us. So that's a great way to save money, but still have a really good system for your baby's diapers. Something else I have learned, unfortunately the hard way, is you do not need all the tech that is marketed to you. So for example, the Nanit, the Owlet, the Snoo, all these very expensive baby gear devices. I've had 2 Nanits and they're marketed to parents who are tired and overwhelmed and have all these really cool features, but technology is also glitchy. I cannot tell you the number of times, especially after I had my second, my Nanit like wouldn't load or it was glitching, or you can't even travel with it and it doesn't have the best warranty. It would just be something that I would stay away from. We found there's a Happy Baby monitor, and then also my favorite right now is the Vava. I'll link it down below. They actually even have it in the Babylist store. It is straightforward and simple, and just I would much prefer that than having all this technology that you're having to play with and figure out and also are paying for, and would rather invest in some like good quality things for my baby instead of going that route. And then finally, when it comes to car seats, I cannot tell you the number of parents I have come to me say, I want the car seat that turns into a stroller, but then I also am going to get an infant car seat and all of that. It's very confusing. Car seats, probably I need to make a video on this, on like all the different options you have when choosing a car seat. Basically, there's 3 for your infant. So you can go with a convertible car seat, which is a car seat that stays in your car and it grows from when your baby's really little all the way into toddlerhood, which is a great option for parents who want a baby wear or use a bassinet. It is a more minimal way to transport your baby, and I think it's awesome. But if you're gonna go the infant car seat route, I wouldn't register for a convertible car seat right now because they have an expiration date on them and you do not want that countdown to start until you're going to be using it. The only exception I would say is like we ended up buying our convertible car seat to put in my husband's car so he could transport, so we didn't have to have 2 infant car seats, but you also can really easily buckle an infant car seat in another vehicle if they have that option, which most of them do. So that's something to keep in mind. And then let's talk about the Doona. I actually have a full video on the Doona, and I also compare it to the Even Flow Shift Dual Ride. It can be a great option for families, but is it everything that it's marketed to be? No. I personally would recommend for most families to skip the Doona and instead take that money and buy a lightweight, easy travel system. So let's say the Joy Nutmeg or the Doona Travel LX. I have both of those on my page, full reviews of them, but you can attach the infant car seat that's baseless, super easy to install in any vehicle. It's lightweight, it has amazing canopy coverage, so you don't have to buy any extra accessories, which in general you should probably stay away from because they're not crash tested or recommended for use by most car seat brands. Check your manual, but even those like seat protectors, a lot of car seats don't allow them. So always read your manual with your car seats, but those are just as convenient as the Doona, but they give you more versatility into the toddler years. And those 2 strollers in particular have really cool folds. And then once your baby outgrows the infant car seat, you're not stranded without a stroller, and you can now easily use that with your baby. They also both have newborn reclines, so you can even use them without your car seat because it's generally not recommended to keep your baby in a car seat for longer than 2 hours. I have a whole video about strollers. Start with my newborn stroller guide because that will kind of be the best way to help guide you. I'm not going to tell you necessarily strollers and car seats in this video because there's a lot and every family's needs are different. Let's get some coffee and then we'll jump into the checklist. Okay, let's start with feeding. Feeding, I have bibs here in the first category. I love a silicone bib. This one's from Lulu Lollipop. I'd get 2 of them because it's really nice to not have to clean them in between meals. So these are great because they catch all the things that drop from your babies. Babies learning to eat is kind of gross. So I would definitely add 2 of those. And then bottles. You want to add a few different bottles. So I love these boxes from Babylist. They have a glass bottle one, and then they also have like a silicone hybrid bottle option. And the thing that's really nice about that is you just don't know what your baby's gonna like. So we had a bunch of the Boon bottles, which are right here in one of these boxes, and we thought for sure my oldest would love it, and she did not. And so we had to do Dr. Brown's bottles, and then eventually we transitioned her to the Boon ones just because there's less parts to have to clean. With my second, she didn't care, but her bottle had to be warm. So that's where the glass bottles were super nice because it helped us warm them up quicker. And then with my third, she really didn't take any bottles because I'd quit working. And so we tried every one of these bottles and none of them worked for her. So you try and sometimes it doesn't happen, but that is exactly why maybe don't invest in a ton, especially if you plan to breastfeed, in a bunch of baby like bottle sterilizing kits and stuff if you just don't know, because you might be like me with my third. Burp cloths definitely are an essential. I love these ones from Burt's Bees. They're a little bit more expensive, but they hold up. I still am using the same burp cloths for my first. I used them with my third, even because they held up. The Amazon ones, I tend to find I have to throw away. They just don't hold up as well as the Burt's Bees ones, so take that for what it's worth. High chair, you could skip adding a high chair. I actually have a whole video where I compare all the top high chairs. Little spoiler alert, the Mockingbird is like the best overall from like a price point and the ease of cleaning, so I went on ahead and added that here, and they just added a bunch of new colors so you can match the aesthetic of your home. I'm not sure why it has the safety plugs under high chairs, but I will say I like getting safety plugs just to like cover the outlets. I tend to put, that's probably like the only baby proofing thing I put on my registry because it's just good to not have to worry about those later on. Personally, I did not get a bottle cooler bag and still have yet to buy one. With my breast pump, it actually came with one. And so that's what we used, but we didn't send our kids to daycare. So we would go, like my mom would watch the kids. And so we would just put them straight in her fridge. So it depends. You can always buy one later if you need it. And then a bottle drying rack. We did have one, but honestly, we have found just using our regular drying rack was easier. I will say having a designated bottle brush is 100% worth it. We had the Boone one that came with a bunch, but really you just need the main bottle washing brush. And then a portable one, if you do plan on traveling, is very convenient. Even if you're gonna be traveling without your baby, for you to be able to wash your bottle and pump parts, it's amazing. Bottle warmer and sterilizer, I did skip, but you can always add that if that's something you know you're gonna be needing down the line. And then breast pump. So you can get your free breast pump with your insurance, but I would 1000% add the Boone Trove. It's like a milk collector. It's amazing. Even if you don't plan to breastfeed a long period of time, those first few weeks when you get your milk in, that thing is gold. And then a hand pump is also really nice as well. And then I also like some nursing pad covers. I love these from Kindred Bravely. And then you also can get some disposable ones. Those are just nice to have. You honestly don't need cups on your registry because your baby's not going to be using them for at least 6 months. But I did go on ahead and add these. I ended up getting sent them by mistake, but I love these little cups. They're great starter cups for your baby. I think for like $12. And that's something you'll definitely want to do is add items on your baby registry across multiple price points. I had a friend recently who called me and was like, what do I get my friend? Everything on her baby registry is over $40 and they just didn't want to spend that much. So I think having some options on your baby registry that just gives a lot of different price points is always nice for your family and friends. Nipple cream I think is great, especially for your first. And then I added this little like first feeding set with like a cup. We did baby led weaning, and so we actually still have this set years later. The baby monitor, which I talked about in my items I'd skip, I do love this Vava baby monitor. It's my favorite. It has like 2 different cameras. So we have one in my older girl's room and my younger. I can do the split screens. And after trying, Anana, we tried Happy Baby, we've tried a lot. This has just been my favorite overall. It's a little bit more of an investment, so if you're looking for a more budget one, I would go back and buy Happy Baby in a second. Bassinet and sleeper, we kind of talked about this. It really ultimately depends on your family and your needs. And the same is true for a crib. I will say if you're looking for a budget crib, the IKEA one is really great. Crib mattress. Get a crib mattress that's firm. That's probably the most important feature. I always look for Green Guard Gold as well. I have the Graco crib mattress. I'll link my blog post of my nursery essentials down below. I have tried the Newton one, and then also I have an organic like mini crib mattress I ended up getting for my baby's room because the Newton one was too small. But you really do have lots of great options. If you want to invest and do the Newton, it's a great option. But if it's not something you can prioritize or spend the money on in this season of your life, I have been very happy with my Graco and even my organic mattress for my baby's room. Crib sheets are great. I love to go with like natural materials, like 100% cotton. And then swaddles, I would always add a few different options just because you don't know what's gonna work for you and your family. We have used the Ollie with all 3 of my kids. We've really liked it. We did have one baby where we wanted the Love to Dream, so I have that on here, and then I would love to try the Taking Care of Baby swaddle, and then just some swaddle blankets. While we don't use them for night, it's just super nice to have for your baby in your car seat or laying on the floor or even as a nursing cover. It's just very versatile, and I would have like 3 to 5 of those and go for something soft. I had like some really soft cotton ones, some muslin ones, and then some like bamboo or like modal ones. They are amazing. And then a sound machine. I have a Hatch, I have this Roam. In general, I tend to prefer the Roam just because it has more of a natural sound. And again, I don't know if you're picking up on it, I have found the longer I've used technology and baby gear, in general, I prefer not to do it. This is also my tried and true portable sound machine that I've used. I actually have a highlight on my Instagram. If you're not already, come follow me there, where I walk through all the different options and kind of the pros and cons. You have options. Now, I don't have the Hatch on here, but we do have one. And I think for especially the older kids, it's nice because it has that rise to wake feature. But in general, it is not intuitive for family members or babysitters to figure out. You have to like tap it, there's settings, it's tied to your phone. If you want to have all those those features built into one, the hatch is still a great option, but I personally have found these are more our preference. A changing pad, I did not want the cloth changing pads. I wanted one that was pretty to put on our dressers, so I got this Moses basket one, but honestly, you could go with so many different options. I would just make sure they either have fabric that's really easy to take off, or you have like a leather pad or something that's easy to wipe clean. And then I love this Tubby Todd all over ointment. In fact, they actually have like a cradle cap bundle that includes this, which you can put on like rashes or anything that your baby has. And then they also have one for cradle cap and also a fragrance-free baby soap. So I would add that to my baby registry. Something that's really cool that Babylist has on top of the bottle box, they also have one for diapers. So especially if you're trying to go with like a cleaner diaper, you can test Kudos, Coterie, and Honest in like this sample box. And I think that that's a really cool option that they offer. Add a diaper bag. There's so many different options. I have a video coming, depending on when you're watching it, it may be live, but there are a lot of different options in diaper bags and you gotta pick which one works best for you. I shared about the diaper pail. I'd personally skip it. And then wipes, I love water wipes. I also have really been liking Coterie's wipes as well. And then while I wouldn't add a wipe warmer, I would add a wipe dispenser just for your nursery. So in my diaper bag, I just keep the wipes in the packets they come in. But in my nursery, I like having weighted because there's nothing worse than pulling wipes out and like 10 of them come out at the same time. So this has like a weight that you dump your wipes in, you just set the weight on, and then it kind of helps it so that you're only getting 1 or 2 at a time. It's great and it's super affordable. Moving on to baby gear. There are a lot of options in here. The first one being carriers. And carriers kind of depend on what you're looking for. What I would say is I would definitely get a newborn specific carrier and then a carrier that like is more versatile for the next stage. So I have on here the Wildbird Aerial Wrap carrier. So they have like their buckle carrier and then the wrap. I recently tried the wrap. It's so soft, so comfortable, and just great for that newborn stage. And then I would add like the Maybe or Happy Baby carriers. I love these 2 carriers and I have a full comparison of them on my YouTube channel. So I'll go on ahead and link that here. I'm not going to say anything when it comes to car seats and strollers, but I have lots of videos and would love to help you with that in another video. So check that out. It really ultimately depends on budget, lifestyle, and family's needs. But I did add some stroller accessories. So while I don't recommend adding anything to your car seat, some of you live in a very cold climate, so having one of these muffs is a really good idea to keep your baby warm. You just want to look for one that doesn't interfere with like the harness straps at all, like none of those extra inserts, things like that. So I have like a skip hop one here. Add a stroller fan for sure. Those are great to have. And then a stroller organizer. I'll link one of my favorites down below. But those are super nice to have because a lot of strollers do not include cup holders. If you do live in a warmer climate, so we have our colder climate, buy one of those. If you live in a warmer climate and you don't have ceiling vents, you may want to register for the Noggle because it's not safe to put a stroller fan on your baby's car seat because it could become a projectile. But the Noggle attaches to like an air vent and helps blow that on your baby, so you can check that out. And if you travel a lot, I would definitely register for the Slumber Pod. It creates like a blackout space over your baby's travel crib, and I actually talk about this and the best travel cribs across budgets and lifestyles in a video on my YouTube page, so be sure to check that out. Health and safety. This is some category that I feel like is often forgotten, so I kind of like that it's in this checklist. I would definitely add this essentials kit from Little Remedies. It is great. It has like gas drops and saline, a baby ibuprofen. It has a bunch of things that you'll use in the beginning stages, and a lot. I just like that it all comes in one box. I think that's a really cool option. I would get a nail file, like an electric nail file. This one from Mom Cozy. I've had a few different brands off Amazon. I'm always kind of cautious about Amazon. If I can find a brand that's like more reputable, like in this situation Mom Cozy, or I had a Haka one, I would do that. I find there's just a little bit better quality control than some of the options you'll find there. And then instead of a snot sucker, I would do the electronic one. Now the snot sucker, it's like this blue thing you've probably seen on other people's list, is more effective than the electronic ones, but I'm not comfortable doing it. So my husband has to do it. So I have found as a mom, I just like having an electronic one because it's definitely better than nothing. When it comes to pacifier, this is where those boxes, like you could fill out the Amazon registry without having it be your main registry and still get the box, or the Babylist one, they come with different passies. You don't know what your baby's gonna like, so having some options is good. And then I would always add like a clip, especially if your baby ends ends up being a pacifier baby. And then I have a few different toys here. I have one of this is like a bath toy we really like, and then the Sophie the giraffe. Just keep in mind they do get mold, so I would throw them out between children. Adding a hairbrush and a comb is a great essential, and then a humidifier is also amazing to have. If you have one already, great. If you want like a really fancy one that's easy to clean, I have been loving the Canopy humidifiers. Okay, let's get coffee real quick. It's definitely cold. It's okay. Okay, bathing. Bathing your baby. You do not need anything fancy for this. To be honest with you, if you want to skip a baby bath, you could, and just lay a towel in the bottom of the tub and do like a small layer of water. You'd be fine with that. That's what I do when we travel. But I do like this $20 Angel Care bath seat that just sits in the bath. It has been amazing. I also love this mushy cup that we use to like put on our baby. It's my favorite thing, and it also is probably my kid's favorite toy in the bath. It's just that cup, and you could be great with that. But some classic like ducks, ideally ones that don't have holes in them so they don't get mold, or little like stacking cups that they can pour water out of. I do have a blog post on like mold-free toys, but those were some good ones when I was looking on Babylist options. And then I love the Canopy bath filter, and then that's that Tubby Todd bundle that I told you guys about earlier. I love their soap for kids. I'm gonna kind of skip over the nursery section just because this is very personal on what you're looking for as far as design and things like that. The two things that did get put in this category though is a nursing light. I have one, actually it looks like Vava, my baby monitor, makes one, but you can also get this one off Amazon. I'll link it down below. This I did not find till my third baby, so I just want to save you all and get this, because when you're feeding your baby in the middle of the night, it is the worst to have to like turn your phone on and have all the blue light and stuff, but this you can just tap. It's currently dead, but it turns on and it like allows you to have a light to be able to like see your baby. It's amazing. And if you're going to be up, which you are, all the time at night with a baby, it's really great. And then there is that trash can as well that I use. It's literally just a bathroom trash can, and it has worked great in our nursery. Okay, clothing. Clothing on a baby registry is tricky. I added a bunch of cute clothing for my first baby from H&M, and a lot of them either sold out or changed colors before anyone bought them. In fact, people in general don't love to buy clothes off of your baby registry. You could add like some packs of sleepers and onesies and things like that, but in general, people tend to just add an outfit on top of what they're already giving you. I had a baby in COVID though, so it was really weird. But then my second baby, we had a small shower for her, and a lot of people brought clothes. But some things I would add is like a baby hat or a baby snowsuit. If you know you're gonna be in a colder climate or a warmer climate, you can add some of those unique items. Another thing I really like is, especially if you're gonna have a winter baby, I do like some little like moccasin shoes to help keep their socks on, because there's nothing worse than baby socks falling off. But you, again, only need one of them. You only need one of a lot of these things. And then you could add some outfits for ideas, but I would put notes in there saying like what color specifically you're wanting in case they sell out. And then the final category, playing. This is kind of the fun category. So I would, if you only buy one thing in this category, I would buy a play mat. I love the Love Every playmat. It has been amazing. It's larger. It has a lot of different sections. It could be the only toys you need for your baby for 6 months. Like you can take them off and put them like in your stroller or whatever. It is really great, and it's a great safe place to put your baby, tummy time, all the things. It's great for them developmentally. I do love these stroller toys over here. I've tested a lot of stroller toys, and these are some of my favorites. So I would add this Skip Hop bundle, but I would also add some high contrast cards. If you're doing the Love Every play kit, you don't necessarily need to, but this was nice to put in my diaper bag. So if like we were at the pediatrician or something, babies love high contrast. And then instead of doing like registering for a bunch of books, you can do like a book instead of a card and help build your baby's nursery that way, and people bring their favorite kids books. Now, we have a bouncer and a swing. You do not need both. In fact, if you only were to pick one, I would pick a bouncer just because it's more portable. You can take it in the bathroom, you can take it outside, you can take it on a trip up to a cabin, and then it has like a cute little toy bar. This is the Baby Bjorn. I actually have a full lineup where I talk about like the Baby Delight budget one, the Ergo Baby one, and I think Up a Baby as well. So you can check out that video. It is great, especially if you have like a colicky baby, and just being able to take your baby and have a safe place to put them in multiple different places. Some babies though really do like movement. My third baby, we knew I was planning on using the bouncer because that's all I used with my second, and we knew pretty quickly that she needed movement, and she was our third, and we were like, we need we just need to get a swing. So I've had the Mamaroo, I had it with my first. It broke a lot, to be honest with you. We decided to go with the Maxi Cozy swing and we have loved it. I know some babies love the Mamaroo. My first definitely did, but my second and my third did not. So I think having something like this Maxi Cozy swing, or even there's some budget ones on Amazon, is a great option. You could even wait to buy those or get it secondhand. So I hope this video was helpful in how to create your baby registry. I know I just gave you a lot of information, but check out the links below. I do have how to create your baby registry on my blog, and then the Babylist link. And then I also have a bunch of other first-time parent videos and blog posts to hopefully help make this process a little easier. Thank you so much for watching.